Wind. Oh. Hey, everyone. That's right, folks. It is I, the great and powerful Oz. Today, I keep my promise. Like I said, I'm a man of my word. And what am I going to be reviewing to you tonight is what well, of course, today, actually. It's getting pretty stormy outside. Anyway, what I'm reviewing to you is, of course, Howl's Moving Castle. Just like I said on my last review. Now, Howl's Moving Castle was created by Hayao Miyazaki, and it was a really good story. But not many people didn't even know it was based from a book written by Diana Wynne Jones. And she's a British author. And this is her book. She written that book as a sort of a typical fantasy story. And what it's about, for those of you who haven't seen the movie or read the book, it is about a girl who goes by the name of Sophie. She lives her entire life as a hat maker. All she does is make hats in a hat store. Little does she know that she herself is a witch. She just doesn't even know it. Like, she makes over about 9 hats per day and don't even realize it. And also, she makes things happen when it comes to sewing. Like, one time she made Howl's robe a lot dazzlier, more dazzling. It pretty much get girls' attention. Imagine if I wore a dazzling robe. And of course, in the story, this is how it goes. In the story, Sophie met Howl for the first time over a group of 2 soldiers who keeps hitting on her and offering her a drink. Of course, you know what's going to happen next if she went along with them. But Howl himself distracted them and told them to get lost in his own way. And after he disappeared, she was amazed to see Howl and start to like Howl. And all of a sudden, she meets the Witch of the Waste. Now, the Witch of the Waste, she's madly in love with Howl and doesn't want any girl near him. So what she does is that she put a curse on her and turned her into an old lady. Her age had been changed from 18 to 80. 18 to 80. Some spell, huh? Anyway, after that spell, she wanted to figure out a way to release the spell. And the only person she knows who'd be powerful enough to release that spell is, of course, Howl. But of course, there's a lot of women make a lot of rumors about Howl, saying that any girl who falls madly in love with Howl, he'll take their soul, even though that's just a rumor, and I don't believe in rumors. And one thing she did heard about Howl is that he lives in a moving castle, some sort of magic house, where it moves around by itself, always keep walking and moving and moving and walking, without being stopped anywhere. And from out of nowhere, Sophie, being 80, she starts having all these problems like cranky muscles and such, aching joints, until she found herself a stick that she instantly turned into a cane and used it as a walking stick. And all of a sudden meets a scarecrow who's a turnip head, and turns out it's alive, always keeps hopping around and following her wherever she goes. And after she finally got into the magic house, got into Howl's Moving Castle, there was a difference between the book and the movie. in the movie, it looks completely anime, like a steampunk animatronic house that always walks all the time. While the book, it's just a castle who levitated and moved everywhere. But of course, Howl has this magical door where it changes colors on the top, on the top right. When it turns red, he's in one place, and as it turns green, he's in another place. Turns yellow, another. But if it turns black, it's a really dark black room. And of course they mentioned that there was a war going on, but the difference between the book and the story, the movie, the animated movie, it showed the war, but the book never mentioned the war. And of course, one made-up character that they put in the movie, it wasn't in the book. Well, of course, they mentioned her, but never revealed her in the story, is the Madam Sorceress, who is responsible for the war. Man. And throughout the story, Sophie meets a fire demon who calls himself Calcifer. Not Lucifer, Calcifer. That's his name. And he's the one who keeps the house moving, keeps it going and all. And she also met an apprentice, a young 14-year-old boy who is actually, he said that he's 50. It was one of the spells that made him look young, made him look like a little boy. But the difference between the book and the movie, in the book he's called Michael, but in the book he's called Michael, but in the animated movie he's called Markle. M-A-R-K-L. Markle. Kind of makes me wonder, is Markle a Japanese name for Michael? Kind of makes me wonder, because I know Miguel is the Spanish name for Michael, and I know Michelle is a French name for Michael, and of course a female's name. But Marco? I don't know. Maybe. I guess. But as Sophie got into the moving castle, she discovered what a mess. I guess Hal never tidied up his castle or his bathroom. Sophie always ends up had to clean up the entire place. Whew. Hard work, huh? And of course, the Scarecrow, or they call Turnip Head, always keep jumping around following her. Spoiler alert, at the end of the story, it turns out it was a prince. In the book, he's called Prince Justin, but in the movie, they just call him Prince Turnip. Prince Turnip. More awkward than Princess Toadstool on Mario Brothers. Peach made it sound more feminine. All in all, the book was really good, and so was the movie. I love the movie so much. And believe it or not, the actor who does the voice of Howl in the movie is Christian Bale. That's right. The guy who played Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy did the voice of Howl. It's a good thing he didn't use his Batman impression for Howl. Imagine how he sounds. This is ancient sorcery, quite powerful too. It'll be ridiculous. So he just uses normal American accent voice. More like this. This is ancient sorcery, quite powerful too. And of course, Calcifer is voiced by Billy Crystal. I like Billy Crystal. He's really funny. And of course, I heard Laura Bacall did the voice of Madam Sorceress. And also, I heard that Hayao Miyazaki, who made the film, he was asking Laura Croft over. Not Laura, he was asking Laura Bacall out. You dog, you. Anyway, watch Howl's Moving Castle here, ladies and gentlemen. It is really good, very heartwarming. And for those of you who like to be more original, read the book, because the book is really good. Oh, and in case some of you are wondering, if Sophie gonna become turned back into her 18-year-old self, well, sadly, throughout the entire movie, the Wicked Witch of the Waste did put a curse on her and it made her old. But throughout the entire story, and from the movie, she starts turning back into her young self instantly. And since she is a witch and don't know it, she can probably get the curse off of her and turn herself back to herself once again. And of course, Calcifer, the fire demon, he wanted to make a deal with Sophie by freeing him. And as it turns out, how did Calcifer get attached to Howl? Simple. Howl took out his heart and gave it to Calcifer. And therefore, Calcifer is Howl's heart all along. Imagine that. Of course, I'm not going to rip my heart out to have a fire demon on my side. And Howl met him as a shooting star. And now Sophie freed him and gave Howl's heart back. And she finally became young once again. And of course, at the end, they finally lived happily ever after. Oh yeah, and also the Wicked Witch of the Waste turned old. All in all, it is a good tale. Well, that's it, folks. And I always been thinking, since I've been listening to the book, would it be cool if some people from England make a movie based from Howl's Moving Castle, based from the book? Tell you the truth, I got hooked to the story so much, I like to play Howl in the movie. And if it's British, here's one thing you forgot about me. Unlike other people before me, I can speak with the authentic British accent. That's right, I can use my British accent, since I'm pretty good with that. Also my Cockney, if they want me to be low class. And of course I can be Irish if they want to. Or my Scottish, if they like. But that's it in a nutshell. Speaking of nutshell. Hey! Get me out of here! Just kidding. Anyway, this is Multi-Voice Reviewer as Oz, the Great and Powerful. Saying to you all, if you like this video, please leave a comment down below, subscribe, hit like, and if I leave anything out, please make a comment down below to let me know, and I'll explain to you if I left something out. And I know some of you are wondering if I if I'm going to review Narnia. Well, Asian month's going to be over soon, so maybe one of these days I might review Narnia. But right now I got a lot on my plate for me to finish. So, Grascul, Matsu, Latu, Balonda.